For Eric J on Sports, I'm Eric J, and this is what I think. Now, an interesting phenomenon in the NBA is about to occur, and a lot of people don't realize that it's about to happen, but it is, and it's something I thought I'd like to talk about because I have a few questions myself about this phenomenon. When Bill Russell retired as a player, he had already spent 2 years as a player coach with the Boston Celtics, and he won 2 championships as a player coach. But when he retired, he became a full-time coach, and he was met with less than stellar results. And then he became an analyst and worked as an analyst for a number of years, and he did better at that than he did at coaching. When Wilt Chamberlain retired, Wilt Chamberlain had already done movies, he had already done volleyball, he had already worked with the Globetrotters, he'd done a lot of things already. So when Wilt Chamberlain retired, he kind of became an ambassador for the game. He appeared places, he did interviews, he just talked about the sport. He didn't really do anything with the rest of his life other than just be Wilt Chamberlain. When Jerry West retired as a player, Jerry West became a coach, and then he became a general manager, president of basketball operations, and then a consultant to teams, and he won several championships in those roles. So he's had a successful post-basketball life. Now in his 80s, he is an ambassador for the league, but he still works as a consultant from time to time. When Magic Johnson retired, Magic Johnson became a coach, and he wasn't a very good one. Then he became a general manager, and he wasn't a very good one. He was an analyst. He was a decent analyst, and then he became a team owner and an entrepreneur, and Magic Johnson has made a lot of money outside of basketball. When Larry Bird retired, he became a coach. He was a decent coach, and he took Indiana to the NBA Finals, and then he became a general manager, and he became one of the best general managers in basketball. When Shaq retired, Shaq had already done movies, Shaq had already done music, so Shaq became an entrepreneur, and he's made considerable amount of money as an entrepreneur, and he became an analyst on arguably the best studio show in the history of sports on the Inside the NBA show with Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Kenny Smith. When Kobe Bryant retired, understandably his life didn't last very much longer after his retirement, but he made a movie about his love for basketball and how basketball has affected his life, and he won an Academy Award, so it was easy to see that Kobe was going to do great things with his life after his basketball retirement. And when Michael Jordan retired, Michael Jordan became a general manager, and he wasn't a very good one because he couldn't scout very well and he couldn't pick players. And he became a team owner and an entrepreneur, and Michael Jordan is now a billionaire with his outside of basketball investments. And I say all that to say this. LeBron James has been in the NBA for over 20 years. When you look at all the other best players ever, Russell, Chamberlain, Jerry West, Magic, Bird, Jordan, Shaq, Kobe, you see that some have had really great, successful post-basketball lives, and others struggled to find their footing. And the reason I bring this up is because LeBron James, as I said, has played 20 plus years in the NBA. So he is very, very close to the end of his basketball life. So the question becomes, what will LeBron James do when he's finished playing basketball? LeBron James is already a billionaire from his investments and from his endorsements and from his basketball life, because basketball players today make $30, $40, $50 million a year. While when Magic Johnson made $1 million a year in the mid-'80s, people thought that he was breaking the bank and going to bankrupt the Lakers at $1 million a year. If he played today, he'd be making $60 million a year. So with LeBron James making $30, $40, $50, $60 million a year, and his outside investments and his endorsements, LeBron James is already a billionaire. So becoming an entrepreneur is not something he necessarily needs to do. So what will LeBron James do when he's finished playing basketball? He'll have options. He's already got a podcast. He already has a lot of money. He already owns teams in other sports. So he seemingly has done some of the other things that some of the other greatest players ever have done. But will he become a coach? Will he become a general manager or a scout? Will he become a team owner? He's discussed that in the past. But the biggest question is, will he try to get a job as an analyst, or will he try to get a job as a coach or a general manager? Because during his basketball playing career, whenever LeBron has wanted to do something, It's always been because Rich Paul, his agent, has said this is what LeBron wants to do. Whenever something happens with LeBron James's life, it's always because Rich Paul, his agent, has said LeBron is doing this or LeBron is not doing this. The Lakers have gone through a number of coaches since LeBron has been with the Lakers, and it's always been Rich Paul speaking, saying, oh, LeBron's not involved in the process, or oh, LeBron feels like the Lakers should do this, or oh, LeBron has done this. And then LeBron will go on his podcast and he'll address it or not. So if LeBron tries to get a job with a network as an analyst, how soon before the job is offered will we hear from Rich Paul saying LeBron wants the job X, LeBron doesn't want to work with individual Y, LeBron doesn't believe that this situation is the best situation for him? If LeBron tries to become a coach or a general manager, how soon will we hear Rich Paul say, LeBron likes this player, but he doesn't like that player. LeBron doesn't think this team as it's currently constructed can win, but he'd really like to take a chance. LeBron doesn't feel like this is the best opportunity for LeBron. If LeBron tries to buy into an organization, how soon before that rumor is leaked will we hear Rich Paul say, oh, LeBron doesn't believe in this person as a coach. He wants to buy this team, but he would have to replace this person or that person or replace these players or those players. What I'm saying is, who's going to want to do business with LeBron James in basketball, knowing that you're going to hear from Rich Paul, and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports will attempt to hijack whatever the situation is, as they've done in the past with Cleveland and Miami and Cleveland and Los Angeles. Whenever LeBron is unhappy, we hear about it through Rich Paul, his agent. And then whenever Rich Paul, his agent, kind of mentions that LeBron might not be happy, changes are made. Whether those changes are made for the good or for the bad, changes are made. And once the changes are made, when they don't work out, we see the mysterious passive-aggressive LeBron James tweet, and then we hear from Rich Paul. So who's going to want to really do business with LeBron when he's not LeBron James, the greatest player who's ever lived, and he can't help your team win? He's just a guy looking to put money into a situation, or he's just a guy looking to add his pseudo expertise to a situation. But you know that when you get LeBron, you're going to get his agent. And when you get his agent, you're going to get all the passive aggressive messages and leaks and suggestions that LeBron may or may not be happy for this reason or for that reason. So will LeBron be a coach or a general manager like West and Russell? Will he be an analyst like Magic or Shaq? Will he be an owner like Michael? Will he be an ambassador like Wilt? Or will he do something else? And if he does something else, how much of the chaos that comes with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports will be attached to whatever it is he does? That's something to think about, because just as people say as they get older, LeBron James's basketball career is closer to death than birth. He will be out of basketball soon as a player, and so we'll get to see the next phase of his life, and we'll get to see how much of his life, how much of the outer realms of his life are controlled by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports. Remember to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, and visit the Eric J. on Sports website, and follow me on Facebook at Eric J. on Sports 1 and on Instagram and Twitter at Eric J. on Sports. And for Eric J. on Sports, I'm Eric J., and this is what I think.